Over time, the black build chamber external frame gasket on the top of the build chamber may degrade. Debris from the gasket could lead to powder contamination and failed prints, or a worn gasket could allow powder to reach the build chamber's internals and cause a malfunction. Check your build chamber's gasket regularly and replace it when damage is present. Use this video to replace the build chamber's external frame gasket. If this video helps you solve your printer's issue, please like the video, and thanks for watching. For all maintenance procedures, Formlabs recommends wearing an N95 mask or better and wearing disposable gloves. Before we start, a quick warning. Do not perform this procedure if the build chamber was used for printing less than 6 hours prior. Failure to do so may result in serious burns. Allow the build chamber and print enclosure to fully cool to room temperature before touching or inspecting any printer components. To start, we'll prepare the workspace. First, if the build chamber has recently been used for a print and contains a powder cake, empty the build chamber using a fused sift. Even if the build chamber is already empty, fully raise the print bed using the controls on the fused sift or by tapping Settings, System, Motor Moves on the printer touchscreen. Next, use the vacuum attached to the fused sift to clean the build chamber. You can do so with the build chamber in the fused sift or outside of the sift by removing the vacuum hose from the sift. Next, we'll remove the build chamber external gasket. Using a 2mm hex driver, loosen and remove the 10 M3x5mm screws securing the build chamber's top cover to the build chamber's body. Set the screws aside. Remove the top cover and build chamber external frame gasket from the build chamber. Use a clean paper towel to clean any powder off of the inner gasket below the top cover. Separate the build chamber external frame gasket from the top cover by placing the top cover face down. Peel the build chamber external frame gasket away from the top cover. We will now install the new external frame gasket. Place the top cover face up so that the hot surface hazard symbol is visible and facing you. Orient the new build chamber external frame gasket with the notch facing the back of the top cover. In other words, away from the hot surface hazard symbol. The build chamber external frame gasket has two flanges that sandwich the inner lip of the top cover. Position the gasket with the wider flange on the bottom. Tuck the wider flange of the build chamber external frame gasket under the inner lip of the top cover. Leave the narrower flange on top of the top cover such that the build chamber external frame gasket sandwiches the inner lip of the top cover. Lastly, we will reinstall and secure the top cover. Position the top cover and build chamber external frame gasket on top of the build chamber. Ensure that the screw holes in the build chamber external frame gasket are aligned with the screw holes in the top cover and the standoffs on the top surface of the build chamber. Ensure that the gasket is not being pinched. Adjust assembly as needed. Once all of the screw holes are properly aligned, thread one screw into each of the 10 screw holes. Tighten the screws with a 2mm hex driver until finger tight. After installing the build chamber's external frame gasket, clean the build chamber and perform final checks. Be sure to clean the build chamber and workspace of any powder that may have come loose during maintenance to prevent powder contamination. Insert the build chamber into the printer and start a print. Need help? Contact Formlabs support or a certified service provider for additional support. Did this video help you get printing again? If so, please leave a like on our video and subscribe for more content. What video do you want to see next? Leave a comment telling us more.